painting. Where is it? So I'm going to talk to you for a bit, and while I talk, you can get all your art materials out and get set up and ready to paint. But welcome. So Creatively Uncorked popped its cork back in January 2014. Our studio is located in West Fargo, and it's ages 6 and up. We do public and private events where we celebrate birthdays, bachelorette parties, corporate team building events. And what's nice about these live videos is that we can comment, and they're super interactive. So don't be afraid to comment, and if you're celebrating anything, put it in the comments and I'll give you a shout out. So I know it's Wine Wednesday, so woo! But, or hump day, however you want to look at it. And then we also do mobile events. So if you have a birthday, you want us to come to your neighbor's basement or your aunt's garage, we can do that because we like to party. So there's that. And then we're also starting to do these virtual private parties. I know, it sounds awesome, and it is awesome, but I'll talk to you about that a little bit more later in the video. Let's see. Okay, and then we have, if you've been to one of our events before, we have 2 rules. So rule number 1, it's super easy, it's have fun. Yes. Rule number 2 is a little bit more difficult sometimes, it's no negativity. So this means that my painting is not going to look exactly like our reference photo. And if you are feeling a little bit frustrated or you need help or anything, once again, don't be afraid to comment. I have lots of tips and I can help you through it. If you're to a point where you have no idea what you're doing, don't be afraid to comment. I'm here for you. I got your back. And then if you need a little extra help, you can always pour yourself a drink or turn on some music in the background so you can get into this happy painting zone. Okay, and then let's get down to it. The last thing that I'm going to mention before I flip the camera is the important thing about our brushes. So I actually have 3 here. I don't know which ones I'll be using, but so if you've been to one of our events before, you might have done something called the Creatively Uncorked Brush Pledge. So what it means is that we're basically just pledging to take care of our brushes, and even though we're not together in person, we're together in spirit. So that means we're going to do the Creatively Uncorked Brush Pledge right now. So I'll give you a second. Everybody grab your brushes. Are you grabbing them? Also say hi. I haven't seen, it might not be up yet. So if you are saying hi, good job. But comment hi. But everybody grab your brushes. Hold them in your right hand. Place them over your heart. And repeat after me. I pinky promise.
I pinky promise.
To not let paint dry on my brushes.
To not let paint dry on my brushes.
I'll keep my brushes in my water cup.
I'll keep my brushes in my water cup.
When I'm not using them.
When I'm not using them.
I will do amazing today.
I'll do amazing today.
Whoop whoop. So I added that. If you've done videos with me before, comment, let me know. Just kidding. But also, if you've done videos with me before, I just added a little whoop whoop in there. Okay, so let us change the camera angle. There we go. Now you can see my canvas. Wait, come look at the... Okay, sorry. Just reading some stuff, but we're going to get started. So if you bought an art kit from us, these are probably the paints that you got. I almost just stuck my finger in it. But we need blue, teal, burnt umber, it's like a brown, silver, or if you are painting from home, a gray would work, and then white. So if you got an art kit from us, these are the paints you got. The brushes you probably got, depending on the size of your canvas, you probably got one of these or maybe a bigger brush. But I'm going to use a bigger brush for the background just so I can paint faster. If you don't have this brush, or if your brush is super small, it'll get the job done. So either way, it's fine. But I'm going to start scooping out my paints. While I'm doing this, okay, let's see, blue. How much blue do I need? Maybe I'll scoop up half for now. Gonna scoop out maybe a little bit more teal this time, a little bit more teal compared to the blue. I'm just putting my extra cups to the side. Cleaning my brush when I switch colors. I guess I probably didn't need to put the brown out yet, but I'm just being efficient, I guess. Okay, let's see, what do I want to do first? Let's do white. I don't want to waste the paint, so I'm just kind of like scraping my brush off on the edge of the plate so I can still use it. And then, you know what? I should start doing this with the palette knife so I don't have to waste as much paint. But we'll see. If we're playing bingo, I already got paint on myself. If you are watching this and you have no idea what I'm talking about, I say, wait, what?
I'll totally close it.
Oh, right now?
I could.
Okay, I'm okay. I was gonna tell him it's on Friday. What
it's on Friday.
What
Okay.
painting is Friday?
Let's do it Friday.
Do you remember?
Yes, it's a really important, fun one.
I know. I always pick the fun
important.
ones. Oh, I did it again. Okay.
Blue dragonfly.
Oh yeah, blue dragonfly. Oh, the most springy painting ever. Okay, I'm gonna fold this. But I am ready to paint. Hopefully you are too. I got my palette all set up. We're gonna start with the background, and I'm gonna be painting around the whale. So while I was fiddling with my paints and getting all set up, if you are painting with materials at home, you should, okay, let me back up. So if you're painting with materials at home, you should comment, let me know. If you have an art kit, you should comment and let me know. Because it's always fun to see like who's doing what, and then it kind of, you end up, once again, at the end, people usually post pictures of them, so it's fun to see the differences. But I have blue on my brush. I'm using my big brush. I'm just going to start at the bottom. So the bottom is going to be the darkest part, so I'm using just pure dark blue. I'm going to paint around my whale. I used water with my paints. However, when you see this on your painting, so it's almost like you can see through the paint into the canvas. That means the water's turning your paint transparent. So you have too much water on your brush. First thing, just dab it off on your paper towel, dip into some more paint, and just paint over it. So, easy fix. And I'm kind of painting inside the lines for my tail. I'm not too worried about it, so I'm just going to keep going. Now, I started from the bottom, just because I wanted to paint the darkest color first, so I'm actually going to flip this upside down. So I think it's easier for me to paint down towards myself since the table's up so high. So you just keep like doing whatever feels the best, I guess, or most comfortable for you, whatever you can control more. I just wiped off the paint from my brush, and I'm just gonna dip straight into the teal. So straight into the teal, and I'm putting this right underneath the blue, painting a little bit, and then brushing inside the blue. So I'm overlapping these two colors, and this is how it gets nice and blended. I don't remember which live I was watching, but afterwards I think some people were like saying how they were having a hard time blending. So always just bring the colors into each other, And then if you ever feel like your blue's getting too light, you can always go back in and paint over things. So if you want to darken it, you can do it later. But it's easiest to blend while the paint is still wet. So I'm just kind of going up my whale with my teal, and there's a little bit of blue mixing in, so it looks kind of like an aqua color. Aqua. Now I'm dipping back into my blue, and I'm going to blend it together one more time. So if I were to stop, you can see how harsh of a line that is, and we want to soften it. So when you soften up your line, that's how it gets nice and blended. Okay, I might have to let this dry a little bit. Or this spot right here, it's getting pretty wet. And even though I keep painting over it, it's not changing. So just gonna let it dry and go back to it. So now I'm about like halfway up our water, our ocean. I almost called it a lake. Low. Okay, so we're about halfway up, and now I'm gonna start adding some white to my teal color. So I'm going to add a little bit of white to my teal, streak it in, you know, we want this nice and blended. So I'm bringing the color down into the area that I just painted. And then the goal is the closest to the top. Remember, my painting's upside down. So the closer we get to the top, we want our teal to be more, or to have more white in it. So it becomes lighter. I have a little bit of blue on my brush, and I'm not too worried. I know it's supposed to be a light teal. It's still light enough for me to get to the top. Actually, maybe let's lighten it a little bit. So if I want to lighten it a little bit, I just have some more pure white. Ooh. Wipe off your brush. Whenever it gets dirty, I just wipe it. So you don't have to clean your brush out all the time, or every time. So this side is looking nice and blended. I'm going to add the lighter teal to the left side now. So mix in my lighter teal. Okay, it doesn't look light enough, so I'm adding more white to it. Even more white. Okay, I see people commenting, but I can't see their name. So I would say hi to you. Or I'll just say hi right now. Hello. Love the emojis.
That's Gail saying hi to you.
Gail, hi!
It was Crystal Lynn saying hi to you earlier.
And Crystal?
Crystal, yeah.
Hi, Crystal. Huh. Is it always like that? Do you know?
No, that just popped up that started doing it today.
Interesting. Okay, so I finished the water. I lied. I'm going to go back in to my dark blue, and I want to darken this up a tiny bit more. Tiny bit. my paint is still wet, so it's nice and easy to blend still. So hopefully yours is. If it's not, just, go over it a second time if you feel like you need it to be darker. However, all of our paintings are going to be different, and that's what's fun about painting. It would be boring if they all looked the same. Listen to me preach. Hello. Okay.
Oh, am I supposed to look?
Wait, what is?
That was Gail again.
Okay. Hi, Gail. So, nice and blended. Okay, I'm really happy with how this looks. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to start doing the sky first, and then we're going to meet in the middle. Actually, I lied. Again, look at me. Just telling you all the things. I feel like this is still pretty dark, so I'm just going to, I have pure white on my brush. My brush is dirty, so it kind of made like this really pale blue color. And I'm just going to paint the very, very tops of the water or the ocean. That little horizon line. So if you had it sketched out, I just added this very light color at the top. Okay, so now I'm going to do the opposite. So I'm going to start from the top and work my way down, and we're going to meet in the middle. So for the sky, and I say this a lot in my classes, sorry, I got paint on myself again. So the darker your blue in your sky, the gloomier or the stormier your day looks. I guess I shouldn't say that. Not every time. Sometimes it might just look like it's nighttime, but in this painting, since all the colors are so light, it's going to make your day look really gloomy or rainy. So you can see if I were to paint that whole color, that's still pretty dark. And I want like a happy sky blue day, so I'm going to add even more white to it. However, we don't want this blue to be so light to the point where you won't be able to see these little clouds, okay? So make sure that it's dark enough to be able to see the clouds, but still light enough to be a happy sky blue day. Also, I forgot to tell you, if you ordered an art kit, you got written instructions with it too. So here's what these written instructions look like. Okay, I'm liking this blue. It looks darker on the camera, but it's lighter. Maybe I'll try tilting it. Yeah, you can see how light that is. Now, the closer I get to my horizon line, the more white I'm going to add. So it's going to be a very light blue. So I just added, because we want it nice and blended. I'm going to paint over my person because I can redraw it. But if you, and I might be able to see it. So let's try that. I'm going to add a little bit more water to my paint. So like I showed you in the beginning, a lot of water will thin out your paint and turn it transparent. So now you can see how thin my paint is, and I can still see my little sailboat. But I'm going to add more white. And you can paint around your sailboat if you need to. Otherwise, just dilute your paint a lot, so add a lot of water. And you should still be able to see it. Okay, awesome. I think this area right here on my canvas is too white. So I'm going to add a little bit more teal into my water. But remember, it's still a very pale teal color. So don't dip into your pure teal. There, now we have more of a horizon line so we can actually see where the whale ends and where the sky starts, or where the ocean ends and the sky starts. Okay. Awesome. So let me know if I'm going too fast, or if you have any questions. So I'm going to wait a second and see if anybody, if you're ready to move on, comment, let me know. If I'm going too fast, let me know. I'm going to take a drink quick. Okay. Okay. So, what's nice about this painting is that we painted around the stencil, so we don't have to wait for it to dry. So I am going to actually start the whale. So I don't want to do the clouds right now because our paint is too wet. So I'm just going to give, maybe let's do the base coat of the whale, and then we'll go and I'll show you how to paint clouds. Clouds are my favorite thing to paint. Okay, second favorite. I like teaching people how to paint trees, but I also really like to teach people how to paint clouds. Okay. So, I like doing a quick, let me think. I'm dipping into silver. If you don't have silver, maybe just mix a very, very light gray. What's nice about our silver that we have in your art kits is that it's transparent. So I use this to just kind of map out where I'm going to paint. So on my whale, I'm going to paint this little, I need some more water. So I'm a big planner in real life, and on here too. I like planning out where I'm painting before I actually paint it. That way if I mess up, I can easily paint over it. So that's actually why I do this. It's in case I mess up, which it happens, you know? Okay, I'm gonna need more white at the bottom to kind of redefine my tail. This isn't a big part in the painting, so I'm going to check my clouds, or check my sky to see how dry it is. Our sky doesn't have to be super dry for this step. Either way, if your sky is dry, it's fine. If it's not dry, it's fine. But we just don't want it to be like super, the paint is super wet. Okay, so got my base coat. Who commented?
That was Nancy.
Nancy! Oh my gosh! Hi Nancy, I miss you. I kind of thought it was Nancy, but I didn't want to say anything because I don't know. Yeah. Nancy, what'd you say?
I don't like how the comments don't show up.
Yeah. Nancy, did you, have you done any live paint-alongs yet? Oh, sorry, I didn't tell you what I'm doing. I'm dipping into white, so I have pure white on my smaller brush, and I'm just going to kind of redefine my whale. So I accidentally painted inside my lines while I was painting my background, and that's okay. All I'm going to do is dip into white, because I think the bottom whale, the bottom tail is pointy, so I'm just adding that little point. And then this tail really, really curves out, and I kind of missed that, so I'm just repainting it. Okay, it looks better. It looks so weird right now because it's very, very light. We're going to be adding, if you look up at our reference photo in the top left corner, we're going to be adding the dark, dark color to the tail. So let me know if I'm going too fast. I'm going to show you how to paint the clouds. If you... Ooh, you picked up 3 today. Which ones are they? I'm so nosy, I'm sorry. I just know you've done so many, like, I just am so curious. Also, what's the updated number? I haven't talked to you since, like, the birthday party in January, I think. Nancy?
Maybe, I don't know. I've seen her several times.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember. But I think you hit, you hit the 100 mark that day. So, let me know, Nancy. I'm just here as your cheerleader, cheering you on. Okay, hopefully my rambling has, given you enough time to catch up if you need to catch up, but I'm going to show you how to paint the clouds. So, if you have a filbert brush like this, it's the one that with the arched bristles, this is going to be very, very handy for painting clouds. If you don't, I would just kind of draw out the cloud then. But I have my filbert brush. I'm actually going to mix probably this kind of color. So a very, very pale blue color. I'm not using pure white. Spring truck. Bright dandelions. Awesome. Which spring truck? Because I painted one of them. It was fun painting. Fun class too. Okay, but I'm mixing a very, very pale blue color. So it's going to be light enough so that we can see the clouds, but make sure it's not dark and gloomy. We don't want these storm clouds rolling in. We want happy little clouds, I guess. Oh, okay. So when you're painting clouds, all I do is I keep sticking my hand in wet paint. Just gonna cover it with a paper towel. All I do is kind of tap and drag my brush. I actually have an extra plate, so I'm gonna show you. I just mixed the perfect color, and I'm gonna take it off my brush. But obviously do not use blue. I'm doing this just so you can see. But when I paint clouds, all I do is tap my brush and kind of slide it down a tiny bit. Since the brush has like the arched bristles. Oh, watercolors, fun. Go, awesome. Okay, then I wasn't crazy. It was probably the last time I saw you was at the birthday party. But, so all I'm going to do is tap and drag my brush. So right now, as you can see, I'm just doing the tops of the clouds. And then when I get to the end of the cloud, I like to do like a little horizontal line for a wisp. Another thing that you can do is kind of drag your brush to create a bigger hump, I guess. So this is going to be the yellow spring truck. Yeah, that's my painting. Woohoo! Yay! It was fun. It was a good time. I missed that class. Shout out if you were there. Okay. But that's how we make the tops of the cloud. And then for the bottom, we're just kind of going to wisp horizontal lines underneath. But obviously with white and stuff. So, going to mix my very pale blue color again because it already dried. and I'll put it on my canvas and we'll see. Shanna saw, so you saw Nancy 2 hours ago?
Yeah, she was here when she picked up her art kit.
Jealous!
Yeah. And then I was in the middle of a meeting, so I couldn't even stay and talk long.
Oh, okay.
Next time.
Yeah. Hopefully I'm here. I'm here a lot, so that's kind of funny. Okay, but I'm going to do the clouds now. So I have this light blue color. Oh, it's frozen. Okay. Sorry. I have this light blue color. And I'm just going to tap and drag my brush. And then it's also going to kind of taper off the closer I get to the end of my cloud. So I just tapped my brush. I'm going to add like 3 more clouds. That looks a little funky. So this is going to be our like medium coat color, I guess, medium color, because we are going to add pure white on top, and then we're also going to add a darker blue for like little wispy shadows. So this cloud, you can barely see it. Let me know how your clouds are going. If you have any questions, or if your brush, if you don't totally understand, let me think. I guess with these clouds, less is more. You don't have to add way too many, otherwise it might look a little stormy. So keep it on the lighter side. You know, we're at the beach. We don't want clouds. I'm going to do pure white this time. So I cleaned my brush. I have pure white on my brush. And at the very, very tops, I'm just going to tap my brush. It's also a little bit thicker of paint. I didn't realize before, but I used kind of more watered down paint for this first layer. I didn't realize that. So if you need to go back and add a second layer with thinner paint or something, it should be fine, honestly. But yeah, so this time I'm using thicker paint. Yeah, I lied. So don't go back. Let's just use thicker paint for the tree tops. For the cloud tops, thicker paint will help them, you know, stand out more. So just tapping, dragging my brush. This one got a little long. Let's see if I can just, I just wiped it off with my finger. And I'm liking how these clouds are going. So let me know if you have questions. Okay, the last thing to our clouds that we're going to add will be the darker wispy lines underneath. So I'm going to mix another blue color. This one's going to be the darkest. And you can tap your brush along the bottoms in some spots, but what I'm going to do for the most part is add these like little dark wispy lines underneath. So wispy lines, tap. If you want to, I'll probably tap at the lowest part of the cloud. Maybe bring it up into the cloud a little bit. So this one's just a little too dark, so I'm just rubbing my finger over it to soften it. If you don't want to use your finger and yours got dark, just clean your brush, dip back into white paint, and go over it. So I just softened it a little bit. And I might go in and add some more darker blue, because that's a lot lighter than I thought it was going to be. I might add the darker blue up at these top two clouds. And these got a little wispy, so I might add some more cloud humps in there. Okay, so keep doing what you're doing. For the 5,000th time, let me know if you have questions. Okay, I'm just going to add some more little cloud tops. There, I like that more. Maybe one more taller one. Okay. So with some darker blue, I'm going to go in and put it right at the bottom of the cloud. Less is more. If you've noticed, I've been saying the same like 5 things over and over again. I don't do it on purpose. Well, I kind of do, but I'm making a point. So what we're doing is we're going to play, what do we call it? We have to call it something.
We do have to call it something.
We do have to call it something. Ah, okay. You know what? I'll think about it. But we're going to play a bingo game to go along with our painting on Friday. So I'm painting a dragonfly. Go look at the website. But it's going to be a bingo game.
Yep.
Yeah. So I
possibly involve drinking.
And well, yeah. It's a Friday night. And I don't know if you heard that, but Shanna, my lovely assistant over there, said, and the bingo might possibly involve drinking. So if you're up for it and you're ready to party, you know where to find us. Friday night at 7. Be there. Okay. Oh, sorry. So I'm going to let you guys get caught up. I lied. I have to mix a medium blue. That light blue again, because I'm not loving this little part of the cloud. Okay, just paint it over it. So if you don't like anything, that's what I love about painting, is how easily you can fix something minor like that. Just paint over it. Okay, so while you get caught up, I'm going to talk to you about the virtual private parties that we were talking about. So, the virtual private parties are super new. And how it works is you can go if you have let me give you a scenario. Ooh, yes, it was just posted. So go look at the virtual private parties if you want to. Okay, anyway, so scenario. Let's say it's your friend's birthday and you're all stuck in quarantine and you want to spend it together and you don't want to be boring and just Zoom call. What you can do is order art kits and get this virtual private party going. Where it's like you hire an artist for the night, or for the, how long is it, 2 hours?
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half? Mm-hmm. So you get an artist to teach you how to do a painting for an hour and a half. You get to choose the painting. You get to invite however many friends you want. And we Zoom call. I'll teach you how to do the painting. And we'll just party it up. It's like the new old-fashioned way. Yeah, so let me know if you have any questions about the private parties. Yeah, and then of course I mentioned earlier the art kit to go. So if you need your own supplies, you can always order your art kit to go. We'll give you the right brushes you need. So if you didn't have a filbert brush, it might have been a little hard to paint the clouds. But, and then we are also, I don't think anybody, can you tell if anybody's watching from YouTube?
On YouTube.
Yeah. So these videos will not be on Facebook forever. These are going to be starting to be put onto YouTube, and then slowly
They'll become virtual art kits and Patreon.
Yes. So I don't know if you heard that, but these videos will be turned into virtual art kits, and
They'll go on Patreon.
And they will go on Patreon.
They'll stay on Patreon. Yep.
Yep.
If you ever need to look them up in the future, they're on Patreon.
So I don't know if you heard that, but these videos will be put onto Patreon. If you ever need to pause or go back in, learn something, find a technique, again, it'll be on Patreon. So these won't be on Facebook forever. Go check out Patreon. It's cool. Yeah. And then we also have our own, so Creatively Uncorked has its own YouTube channel. And within the channel, there's different sections for each artist. So my art page, I don't know. Let me say, hi, I'm Maddie. My art page is called, what do you call it? Channel?
Show.
Art show. My art show on our YouTube channel is called Party Arty with Maddie. I know, so fitting. And all of my classes will be on Fridays. Because partay, hello. Let me know, are any of you ready to move on? I don't want to go too fast. I also want to answer any of your questions or all of your questions. Okay, and then I briefly mentioned the virtual art kits. So if any of you are painting with materials at your house, it's kind of like that, except you probably didn't have the pre-sketched canvas for you. So how the virtual art kits work is that you get the video, so a video, instructions, and then you get written instructions, a traceable, so you can trace out your shape. You don't have to freehand it, so it makes your life way easier. And then it also, you get like a little sheet that shows you how to trace it and stuff like that, or how to transfer your image. So those are the virtual art kits. Super nice. Oh, you also get a supply list of all the colors you need and what you need. So if you have stuff at home, but you're like not totally sure on what to do, how to do it, and how to draw stuff, the virtual art kits are super nice. So you still get the video, you now get a traceable for you. I know, makes your life easier, and it's still super fun. Hair flip. Okay. I haven't seen any comments yet, so I'm gonna move on. Yell at me if you don't want me to, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna scoot my reference photo closer. Okay, so we're gonna start back up in the whale, and I'm gonna mix this very tan, it's almost like a tan color. It's we're gonna do the light color of the whale. Should we do the light? Yeah, let's just do it. Full send. Okay, white, brown, and it kind of makes this taupey. Why does this say serene trees? Where?
Oh, on the title. Just tell her to ignore it.
Oh, ignore it. I don't know how to change that. Yep, this is boat and whale. So I got my whale, got my boat, kind of. You can see the ghost of a boat. But I'm just mixing a light, it's almost like a light taupey color. I don't know what taupe looks like, but this is what I imagine it looks like. So, white and brown, and a little bit of silver. The silver is going to dull it out, make it look a little more gray. I'm putting this light color right over the top of that silver. and filling in this little S shape. Okay, and before this dries, so I have that little light gray going. Before this dries, I'm dipping into brown, some pure brown. My brush is still dirty. It has that same color on it. And I'm going to add this darker, it's almost like a little outline. So I'm adding this little outline before it dries. And since I did that before it dried, it's nice and blended. And if it's not nice and blended, just go in with that color and blend it out. Okay, the one thing I need to fix though is when I was painting my background, I didn't bring the color in all the way. So I need to go in. There's a little bit of white showing. Okay. This is also a very harsh line, so I'm gonna paint over that so it's more gradual and less of an S shape, so I match my reference photo a little bit. Okay, so with the same color, I'm using the same light grayish brown taupey color. I'm going to drag it down the left side of my whale, and this works out nice because I didn't paint inside, or I painted inside the lines on accident. And so now we're just kind of covering up all those little mistakes that I made. Okay. So I'm going to switch now. I cleaned my brush off, wiped my brush off, and I'm going to mix more of a dark brown color. And so to get that dark brown color, I'm going to mix blue and brown on my plate, and it makes this, I guess I don't really know what kind of color. It's like a dark navy almost. Maybe a little too much blue in it still. So more brown than blue, probably like 2 dots of blue added, because it turns a little green. But we do want this dark, dark shadow, so it gives our whale some depth and dimension. So I'm just going to paint in the bottom half of the whale. And I'm not completely filling it in, like I'm not painting it in solid. That looks a little too dark. So I was going to add the shadow around that little fin, but that looks too dark. I might just use pure brown for that one. So I added this dark, dark brown to the bottom of the tail. I didn't paint it in solid, and now I'm going to add it to the belly. And I'm going to slowly kind of run out of paint, and that's how we're going to get the little dimension of the belly. So it goes from dark to somewhat light. We're going to be building these up in layers. So if it's super, super dark compared to super, super light, don't worry about it. But the next thing, after I have this really dark shadow of the whale, what I'm going to do is just use pure brown. And this brown is really, really transparent color. So I'm just going to put this around my fin and then into the belly again. Let's see. I'm going to bring this shadow up because this is a super obvious shadow It's really, really harsh looking, and we don't want it to be that harsh looking. So I'm going to just bring the shadow up a little bit, just so it's not super weird. Like, it was a very obvious U shape before. So now it's less of a U shape, a little bit more of a shadow. And you can see how dark my colors are starting to get. So that's awesome. We did light first, or like the tops, and then we did dark, and now we're gonna meet in the middle and do like another light / medium color. Let's see. I want more gray in my whale, so I'm gonna mix a silver or gray with white, and then a dot of brown just to warm it up a little bit. Oh, that was maybe too much. Okay, so I have my color. You can kind of see my paints are all spread out, but here's the lightest color that I started with. Then we went to dark shadows, and now I have my medium. It's like a grayish color. And I'm going to bring this into my shadow, or halfway into my shadow. This is the color to bring it all together. Ooh, got a little too light. Let's see. I'm actually thinking that this is a little too light on the tail. It should be a shadow. So I'll just go back in. When we're trying to paint something to make it look, more natural looking, to give it a little bit more form, we do a lot more layers than if we were to just paint it. So you'll see with this guy up here, we'll just paint it solid blue or dark blue. But since we want more emphasis on our whale, we want it to have more of a form, I'm going to spend more time on this opposed to, that little guy. Ooh, where did I get blue? Okay, so I have a light gray again. Oh, it looks white. It's a light gray. Light gray. I'm going to add this to the belly a tiny, tiny bit, just because those shadows were so harsh, especially compared to this pure white of the chest or the neck of the whale. And I'm adding it down the tail again. Okay, before this dries, I'm going to add a tiny bit of brown to my color that I already have. Tiny bit of brown. Okay, and look at me painting over the armpit shadow. So I'm going to need to go back in, darken that up. It seems like it's a lot of back and forth, and ordered this kit to be sent to, ooh, wait, who said that? Oh,
Wait a second.
Okay, yeah. Also, is it MI, Michigan, or Mississippi?
Michigan, and it's Kathy.
Kathy, cool. Awesome. Is it like a surprise, or what's it doing in Michigan? Let me know. Okay. So, another thing that I'm going to have to fix is, oh yeah. Okay. I haven't,
Yeah, right.
don't know all the abbreviations, but thank you for clarifying. I thought it was Michigan. I don't know. What is Mississippi? Do you know? Okay. Do you watch Friends or have you seen Friends?
You're not asking me, right?
Oh, I was.
Oh, I tried. I got through season 1 and then I...
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's it.
Wait, I just notified them. We'll get there late, but they can go back and watch. Yes, they can.
Is there a whale on Friends? Is that why you're...
Oh, no, but what I was getting at about Friends is there's an episode. It was Thanksgiving. Oh, gosh. I have every episode memorized.
Oh, no.
But it was Thanksgiving, and they were, all the friends were, I don't know how it got brought up, but there was like a game where they have to list all 50 states, and Ross was like, oh, that's so easy. And they were like, well, if it's so easy, then like list all the 50 states and before you can eat supper. And then he like comes in at 3 a.m. or something after supper has passed, and he was like, I did it. I got all 50 states. And Chandler's like, you have Nevada on here twice. So he didn't do it, but my point is I couldn't do it. Clearly, because I don't know what Michigan's abbreviation is and what other M states we have. But, okay, sorry for my little rant. But I have a light color on my brush again. I'm going to brush this down into the whale. And it's very, very rough looking. I don't know if you can see the texture because I didn't use as much water on my brush. So, rough. I didn't have as much water, so it's kind of like a dry brush texture. And then I'm just going to add a little bit more white at the top. Define that chin. And same with the fin. I'm going to add a little bit more white to it. Okay. How are your whales going? Let me know. Let's see. What else? Okay, so I'm going to go back into my my tails, little tail fins. I'm just using pure brown right now. Let's see how dark this can get. And I don't love how that looks, so I'm going to add the blue into it again. So blue plus brown, maybe a little bit of gray, or silver, I mean, to dull it out. There, that's nice. Okay, the very, very last thing that I'm going to do, hopefully, is kind of dry brush on this dark shadow and then paint over that little armpit again. Remember, we don't want this a super obvious U shape, so try to taper it into like the top of the head or the back of the whale. Ooh, that got dark. And then, ooh, what is that?
It's a surprise. It's a...
Test. It actually says.
Yeah, right?
Oh my gosh. Cheers, people. Happy Wine Wednesday with my beer. Ooh.
Is it good?
Yeah.
We would have a fridge stocked with that right now, so we're all having flipped up.
What is it?
It's like a lemon Bud Light.
Really? What?
Like lemonade Bud Light.
Okay, didn't we have one of those?
We had lemon tea was awful.
Lemon tea Bud Light. That sounds, I've never tried it, but maybe it's good. But this is really good. Wow. Okay, cheers to when the studio opens back up and you can all have a drink here. Woo! But for now, we'll drink in spirit, I guess. I don't know.
Drinking in isolation.
Yeah.
Not as nature intended.
Okay, wait, what should I? Okay. Let's see. The more I'm spending time, because this is the last thing that we're going to do, will go super fast. So, and this is the emphasis of our whole painting. So I want to spend enough time making sure it looks nice. Okay, I do like that more. I just felt like it was a little too dark. So you can see that I'm doing a lot of back and forth. I'm just gonna keep messing with it until I'm happy with it. However, there's such a fine line because I always say don't overwork anything. So I guess if your painting is super, super wet and you're having a hard time blending these colors together and building these colors up, I would definitely dry it with a hairdryer, take a dry break. Mine has been super dry and I haven't had any problems, but if you need to fan it. What I'm getting at is don't overwork anything, especially if your paint is looking like it's really muddy and it's doing what you don't want it to do. Just take a break. Dry it really quickly. Kind of watch what I'm doing and then, yeah. Okay. The fin is very, very white, so I'm going to mix a light gray. For both fins. Just because they looked a little, like, almost out of place. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to finish this dark, the dark of the tail. Blue and brown again, my really dark shadow color. Just because I think this tail is the back one. It almost looks like to me. The back of it. So it should be the darkest. Okay. I'm feeling pretty good about the whale. Let me know if you have any questions. If I'm going too fast, because I think I'm going to wrap it up and be done with the whale. The one thing that I don't like about the whale right now is this really, really harsh line at the bottom. So I'm just going to soften up with a medium, like an in-between color. Ooh, and then since this is working out really nice, I'm going to use it as a highlight. So use this brush or your small one for the highlight. Honestly, I wish I was painting with you tonight. I'll just cheer you on. Awesome. Wait, who posted that?
Kathy.
Kathy? Yay!
I think. Oh, yeah, Kathy for sure, yeah.
Oh my gosh, Leech Lake. Do I know where that is? It sounds familiar. It sounds close to my lake.
It's closer to Michigan.
Oh, really? I was wrong.
I think, but I could also be wrong.
Okay, on a side note, that sounds so fun.
Oh, Walker, Minnesota.
Oh, well, maybe there's more than, I don't know. Wait, where's your lake at? Oh, cute emoji that you used. Okay, That sounds so fun.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, gosh.
They have beautiful giant pine trees around me. Like,
Really?
It's super giant with the big soft pine needles.
Oh,
I think they're Norway pines, but I could be wrong.
wow. Oh, you know what I'm going to do after all this? I'm going to try. Wait, what?
34 miles from Bemidji.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, cool. Okay, that sounds like a party. And I would love an invite. Just kidding. Okay, good joke. Anyways. What was I going to say? Oh, you know what I want to do after this? I've never been to Duluth before.
Oh.
And I feel like, because I don't want to travel too far, obviously, because I'm scared after, even when all this stuff opens up. But I feel like a Duluth trip in the summer would be nice. Or I don't know, I've never been there.
Go there in the summer. It's no good in the winter, and the summer's great.
Wait, you said summer?
Yeah, there are a lot of things to do. You can go on boat tours. You can watch the giant 1,000-foot ships go through.
Whoa.
Yeah, and then they have that bridge.
I think I've heard of the bridge before, you know?
It's pretty cool. It's something to see.
Yeah. Okay. So, while you are possibly working on your whale, I'm going to, because I like how it is, I'm not going to overwork anything. The one thing that I could add is a highlight, and I might save that till the end because I'm going to fix up these little background mistakes. So I'm going to mix first of all, a light teal color for the top one. So light teal, hopefully this is, I usually just tap it on there and see if it matches, and then if it does, I'll just paint it. Nice. That turned out better than I thought. Okay. So now I'm going to mix, obviously, a darker teal because it's further down. Hopefully there's no blue in it and I can just use this color. It's a little too dark. Ah, nice. Perfect. Sometimes you just gotta cheer yourself on. And that's a bingo. Just kidding. If you're wondering, oak trees. Oh my gosh. Okay, there's okay, I'm just gonna keep painting my background in. I found this, okay, I'm not engaged yet. So I'm getting a little excited, but we've been dating for almost 5 years, so it's about time. But anyways, I was looking at a venue, and there's this one with like a really big oak tree in DL, and I was like, okay, I might be down for that. It's so pretty. I love oak trees. Okay, I'm going to call it, I think. Do I want to tuck that tummy in a little bit? Maybe. Okay. Yeah, just going to make my whale a little bit thinner. And I'm just going to brush this out. There's a tiny bit of blue in there, so I'm going to try to mix it as best as I can. Whoops.
Oh, that's Gail.
What?
You bring so much happiness to my heart.
Oh, you're so sweet. Join on Friday. We're going to play, what do you call it? Oh, we don't know what to call it.
Party with Maddie Bingo.
Party.
Really long
Okay,
name,
that's better than, I don't know what I was thinking. But we're going to play,
Booze Bingo?
Booze Bingo! You genius lady! Okay, so we're going to play Booze Bingo on Friday. Be there, Gail. and anybody else who wants to join, because it's going to be fun. And it's an awesome painting. It's a fun painting. Go look. Or I'm sure there's a link in the comments. Maybe? I don't know.
Friday's painting? Oh, I'm right on it.
Oh, never mind.
I'll get it.
My lovely assistant, Shanna, everyone. Okay.
Only a little behind.
Okay. I haven't seen any comments about me going too fast, and I've been really dragging this out. So you can also tell me to speed it up, you know? Okay. I'm switching brushes, and we're going to do the sailboat. So, just pure blue, pure dark blue. You had me at booze. Oh, heck yeah. Okay, so I can see the outline. And I'm a really shaky person, so I'm actually going to try to hold my hand steady a little bit. Yeah. There's the link if you want to look at the painting. Okay. When you're doing this, it's always better to paint it smaller than you think, and then you can always go back in and make it bigger. It's harder to paint over it. I've learned that from teaching everybody. So let's make a little sail right there. And then I'm going to add my little person. And proportionately, I'm going to try to make my person not too big, but also big enough so that we can see them. So circle and then just a rectangle for the body. And then if you want to add a fishing rod or or a second person, maybe you're on like your sailboat with your friend, holding a brewski. Cheers!
Cheers.
Okay. Woo. What was I going to? You know what? I'm gonna make my boat a little bit bigger. Tiny bit. Just because, like, the whale looks ginormous compared to the boat. There. I only made it a tiny bit taller. The boat. Okay. Whew. Wow. The last thing that we are going to add are the highlights. And I'm going to add it to the to the whale and the boat as well. So, small brush, white paint. I'm going to do the pure white paint at the top of the fin. Top of both fins. And since they were gray, since we painted that color over the top, you should be able to see it. If your fin's already white, A+. You beat me. Okay. And then if we look at our reference photo, there's a highlight that starts at the top of the head. And then it does go down to the tails a little bit. I don't want to do... Oh, I just noticed this little shadow on the fin. So let's add that after. But I don't want to do too much because then it might look, I don't know, cartoonish, maybe. So that's a pretty harsh highlight. I'll just run my finger over it. Soften it. If you don't want to use your finger, use a paper towel. Just wipe. Okay. Oof. Okay, you know why I got so thick? Because I'm not holding my own arm. So if you're shaky like I am, go ahead, try holding your own hand. On the left of the tail, just do a little highlight, and then on the right side of the tail too. Okay. I'm going to add the shadow on here now. Oh, nope, I lied. So while we have white on our paint, let's add the highlight to our boat and let's see. Yep, so it looks like there's a highlight on the boat, the sail, and the person. So on the right side of the sail, and then I also did a little vertical line there. And then the top of the boat. And the top of the person's head. Maybe the shoulders too. Whoa. Okay. So while you do that, I'm going to fix the bottom of my whale. So you keep doing, keep working what you're working on. I just felt like the bottom was too light because earlier my paint was really transparent and it dried lighter. So, okay, the last thing that I'm going to do is add this lightish gray shadow to the armpit of the whale. So white, silver, and a dot of brown just to warm it up a little bit. It's going to be right, kind of follow the shape of your belly of the whale and then brush it out. I'm avoiding that highlight that I had. And then now I'm going to take some more brown and some more silver. Boom. So I painted almost the whole fin except for the place where we have that highlight. And now with the darker color, I'm just going to put it right up against that belly and then brush it into that medium color again. It gives it some more depth. If your color is too dark, add some white to it and mix that in between color to blend it. So, let's see. Hopefully you are close to being done. I'm going to add like a shadow. Okay, you do not have to do this. I repeat, you do not have to do this. I'm going to add like a tiny bit of a shadow under the boat. I don't know what this is going to look like, so. Just because my boat looked like it was just floating there. The armpit of the whale. Okay, wait, who was that?
Gail.
Gail, yes. You didn't, yeah. There's an armpit of the whale, gosh. Oh, well, there is now. Okay, that made me laugh. That was funny. Okay, so I'm done. I added like the tiniest bit of a shadow underneath my boat because my boat wasn't really touching the water. It was just floating there, and I like it. So I think that was it for my painting. I don't see anything that I want to fix or add, so you go ahead and do that. I'm going to be signing off. If you have any questions, comment because I'll probably still be paying attention to this. And then another thing is post your pictures to the Creatively Uncorked Live page because I love seeing all of them. It's really fun. And then we all kind of like comment, and it's interactive, and it's a very positive place to be, and I love it. Okay, good talk. And then what else? Ooh, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe because, yeah, do it. Okay, good talk. It's been fun. I'll be here tomorrow, same place, same time, and on Friday. Oh, you're so sweet. Who said that? Oh, sorry. You're over there being a busy bee. Oh my gosh. After my heart, I tell you. And then, tomorrow, I think it's Kissing in the Rain.
Yes.
Yes. Kissing in the Rain. So, see you tomorrow. If not, see you Friday for Booze Bingo and a dragonfly painting. So, cheers. Maddie signing off. Bye. Yeah, good talk.